Do, 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 do. And we are live. Look at that.
Woo!
We just so you know, folks, it looks like we may have gotten our technical difficulties out of the way before the show started today.
Yeah.
So hoping for smooth sailing the rest of the way here today.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome to yet another episode of Sundays with the General. With me once again is my good friend Just Luke. What's going on, brother?
Hey, last weekend we're doing this like via this way. Next week we're going to be live. I can't wait.
I know. I'm almost hanging out with you like 3 weeks in a row, basically.
I know.
Two of them like in person.
I know it's not a bad gig. So I'm ready. We got a lot of things on the slate today. We got a new movie. We got NFL action. We got some triple T's. I mean, I think this is a nice little schedule we got here.
Yeah. I mean, dude, look, it's preseason football, but there was football on my TV. Yeah. Brian Baldinger is once again doing quarterback breakdowns on my Twitter timeline. And
oh boy,
like, come on.
Right.
Fucking needed this shit. Right. I needed this. I don't care that it's just preseason football, man. We got a bunch of, put that banner up there. It's going to work for me. There we go. All the rookie QBs made obviously a good rookie class this year. So we think it's going to be Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Trey Lance. Obviously, we think this is going to be a good QB class. They all pretty much made their debut, or their preseason debut this weekend. I don't buy much into preseason. It's preseason. You are playing against backups, but what I mean,
I usually don't. I only watched really the last two games. I would never really watch the first two games.
I didn't watch the whole. The only one I really watched like in depth was the Patriots.
Yeah, which I watched the Steelers game. So,
I mean, I wanted to see these guys get their first in-game action, even if it's against backups. You can tell a little bit about what they're capable of.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Mac Jones looked pretty good.
I haven't seen
fans of 31 other fan bases are on Twitter talking about how bad he actually was and how it was just dinking and dunking, which, like, at this rate, we'll probably be hearing about the system QB talk within like a couple of years already. So, like,
yeah,
I mean, if NFL fans are this mad about Mac Jones, that means we've got Stewart's got a couple of MVPs coming in the next few years, right?
Yeah, I mean, Mac Jones is already living in 31 other teams' heads rent free already. He hasn't even taken a snap of meaningful football yet. I mean,
yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't tell you the last time I saw Foxborough give a standing ovation when they saw a quarterback come in. So I thought that was
yeah. Cool. Oh yeah. Okay, that's a triple T. I do. I remember that one now. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mason Rudolph is not good at football.
Mason Rudolph is not good at football. We already knew that.
Yeah, he is not good at football. And I want Dwayne Haskins as my backup quarterback. I want him as my QB too. And so Mason's probably looking for a job, and Josh Dobbs is probably looking for a job. So hopefully, at least.
Yeah, we saw Trevor Lawrence go last night. He didn't really do much. There was that. I'm sure you saw the highlight. He threw that one long pass to Marvin Jones. Made a great catch on it.
Yeah.
We knew he had a big arm. Put it in a good spot. So there's two things we're going to say here. One, the receiver had to make a very nice catch on the ball.
Correct.
Two, dude, he stood back there for like 7 seconds.
Yeah.
He had a clean pocket for like 7 seconds. You are not going to see that this year, especially not playing for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No. No, but you don't get used to that.
Yeah, don't get used to having 7 seconds to look for a fucking receiver.
Yeah, no, you're not going to have that time.
The good old lines don't give them that.
No.
That's one of the things that's one of the times that I'm like, okay, that's preseason.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that in a real game.
That is preseason game 1 right there.
Yeah, that's preseason game 1. Justin Fields looked all right. Bears fans, I know Chicago Bears fans think he's the second coming of what would be the second coming of who from Chicago? I don't really know.
I mean, Rex Grossman was last.
Yeah, I was just say Rex Grossman.
Bowl, I mean,
Steve McMahon. I don't know.
Not really not saying much with their quarterback history.
Yeah, like I feel bad for Justin Fields because Chicago is where quarterbacks go to die.
Yeah.
That's just unfortunately, that's what that is for you, bud.
Yeah, and they pretty much told Tom Brady to pack it in his ass. He's too old to play for him. So, I mean,
look, he had that. Justin Fields had that nice little touchdown run, showed off his athleticism. He had that. Bears fans are going crazy because he threw that long pass to Jesse James there. But I'd be a little more worried if he didn't hit a guy that open.
Yeah, right.
In a preseason game.
Right.
If he didn't hit that throw, I would be extremely concerned.
Yeah. Right. Oh, absolutely.
But, he looked all right. I'm not going to say it's bad. I saw the offensive line screw him up his first series, get 2 false starts in a row on third down.
Yeah, not a good start.
Yeah, just not a good start. You're in Chicago. There's a long history.
This is what you're going to get.
Yeah, there's a long history of good, talented quarterbacks that failed horribly in Chicago because, as I said, Chicago is where quarterbacks go to die.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, Justin Fields. Really sorry, bud, because I actually thought you had talent. Trey Lance, again, he threw the – Trey Lance did some running around for the Niners, had that 80-yard touchdown, which, again, was nice throw. Good, showed off his arm strength. But you're hitting a guy in stride down the field. I guess that's what you want him to do.
Right.
Good like that. It's a preseason. You hit a guy in stride with no one coming at you. It's good. He's got that arm strength. It's not something I'm that impressed by. It's
right.
Now this is gonna sound crazy. You might get a little worried about me. That's what I'm about to say. I didn't think Zach Wilson looked bad. The Jets rookie quarterback, I didn't think looked bad.
I just don't know.
Well, no, I don't think he's going to be good because he's playing for the Jets.
Yeah,
but I was watching one of Baldwin's breakdowns on him. I love Baldy. I think he's one of the best at breaking these things down. And he showed some decent throws by Zach Wilson. When you're looking at him from the all 22 angles, he did make some pretty good throws. Nothing overly impressive. But see, here's my thing: is what I look for a rookie to do in a preseason debut is these long passes to open receivers. I don't care about. But these 10-yard over the middle, you went through your progressions, a guy in tight coverage, you hit the read in stride.
It's going A, B, C, not there, find it, go.
Zach Wilson hit one in right in tight man coverage to Corey Davis on the sidelines. That's a throw you got to make in the NFL. That's one of the throws that I look for you to make.
10 yards in a blanket on the sidelines.
Yeah. Like Mac Jones, that's one of the things that I looked at is the play action fake, the quick release, how he got rid of the ball, all these things that we've heard about and seen at Alabama and we've heard about at training camp, all were on display in the actual game. That's why I felt so highly of Mac Jones' preseason debut is I was happy to see that all these things that we'd heard
are
translated,
actually true,
at least to preseason.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just about it. Justin Fields did have a stupid comment. I'm not going to put him on terrible Twitter takes. I'll just say this now. He said he thought the NFL game speed was a little too slow for him. Yeah, buddy, this is preseason week 1.
Preseason game 1, bud.
Yep, it's going to speed up.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you're not getting touched, bud. I mean, what do you? I mean,
it's going to speed up. I can guarantee you of that.
Right. Like, what do you mean it's not fast enough for you? Fuck out of here with that.
It was too slow for me.
That's a clown. That is a clown move, especially with the NFL defense. I mean, that is just a clown move to say that, because you're going to hear about it every single time you get sacked this year.
Yep.
Is that fast enough for you?
You're a rookie. You just came out and said that.
Yeah.
Hope doesn't stop this year, because that's bulletin board material for every defender that you play against this year, just like Luke said.
Yeah.
I
mean, fuck, Sam Darnold's been in the league for 3 or 4 years now, and he got made fun for ghosts because he's seeing ghosts on the field. I mean, he's never going to live that down.
Yeah, Sam Darnold will never live that down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any bad games that Justin Fields has now, it's going to be fast enough for you, bud.
Yeah.
Game fast enough for you?
100%.
Yep. Yeah. Don't give them a reason to shit talk you.
Right.
So switching gears, movie of the week, as always. This week it is Greenland. You can find it on HBO Max with Gerard Butler. I watched it the other morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, getting high and drinking coffee. It's a modern day disaster movie. Comet about to strike Earth. We've seen this done a few times.
Yeah,
a few times we've seen this whole thing play out. Gerard Butler is the structural engineer. Right away, I found it completely unrealistic that he was on the job site. We hardly ever see the structural engineer hanging out on the job site in a hard hat, waiting for a concrete pour and overseeing the concrete pour. That was the most unrealistic part of the movie to me.
Yep.
I can, it's weird for me. I can handle a lot of like unrealistic things in movies, but like something like that, I'm like, the fuck, man, come on.
Right.
But his family gets selected to, for this, like, because the government obviously knows shit's going down with this comet that's flying by, and they get selected to like get on a plane, and they're gonna get a flight to shelter. So then it's basically most of the movie, dude. There's not much disaster scenes. It's a lot of like how the world would how mankind itself would react in these situations, that it's an extinction level event. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, they were having a cookout, and the neighbors just went from like super happy, fun time neighbors. We're having beers. All of our kids are together. Like, we're watching TV. We're watching this cool comet. And then once everything happened, they're like, what the fuck? Ah!
Well, then they're trying to get him to take my kid. I mean, that, like, those parts, that was actually kind of, and then once they get to the plane, and the plane, reasons that we won't tell everyone who want to watch the movie, doesn't take off. That's when this movie gets fucking wild. That's when it's like, it's kind of like a what the fuck moment after another.
Yeah.
For a good like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Without really any big, like, giant CGI set pieces.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was I think the runtime's an hour and 59 minutes. I think it's a true problem. If it's 2 hours, we're going to say an hour and 15 minutes of it was action and build up. And then the rest of it is just filler and build in, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you're pretty much captivated probably from the 20-minute mark in till about 20 minutes to go, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely, So like you said, you're captivated after about 20 minutes. And that's not to say that the first 20 minutes is boring. It does a good job of drawing your attention in, but it's, I mean,
It gets
once
you
this
there.
once this movie gets going, it really does not take the foot off the gas.
No.
A very, very well-paced movie, fast-paced movie.
Yes, very fast. It didn't feel like 2 hours. It did not feel like 2 hours.
Well, flies by. Obviously a good cast. I love Gerard Butler.
Gerard Butler, amazing. And of course,
Miranda
my girl.
She's Deadpool's love interest.
Yep, my girl. She's in there. Always a pleasure.
Yep,
seeing her on the big screen.
She made Star Wars jokes in a raunchy action comedy. So I like Miranda Baccarin, however you say her name.
Yep.
Scott Glenn as the grandfather role in this that they just has no impact on the movie. Really, they just go see him for 20 minutes to get a sad emotional scene out of it, and to put Scott Glenn in the movie, because like if you can put Scott Glenn in your movie, you
put Scott Glenn in your movie. I mean,
that's just like
it is what it is. That's one of those unwritten rules of movies.
For all we know, this role wasn't even like in the movie until Scott Glenn was like, "Hey, I want to do your movie," and they're like, "Sure, play the grandfather for 20 minutes. You're Scott Glenn."
Yeah. Right. 100%.
And then so like I said, there's not a lot of disaster scenes. What the movie needed was the big one that we got at the end when all the comets start falling. They're on the highway. Awesome scene. Awesome sequence. Good CGI.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't take anything away from it. It was just a good scene. Well done scene. And they get on the plane. Of course,
I mean,
had to happen with the plane.
The movie ends more realistic. Safe. Yeah, I mean, it seemed more. This movie portrayed what would happen in 2021. Because I mean, 15 minutes in, people were looting, and I was like, "Well, that fucking had to be a world record." I was like, the first comet barely hit, and the fucking stores are burning, and people were stealing shit out of stores. I'm like, "Well, that's probably realistic because that's exactly what's going to happen in 2021."
One city gets hit by a comet early on in the movie. We see on the news that city get leveled, and then within like 25 minutes, everyone has gone crazy.
There was looting. Yeah, there was looting. There were stores getting broken into. Cars were on fire.
That was the most realistic part. Kidnapping.
Yeah, kidnapping.
It was the most realistic part of the movie, was that everyone's fucked up.
Yeah, it went from here to here very fast.
Like that shit escalated quickly.
Right. Super quick.
Yeah. Which, again, like, that's exactly what would happen in real life.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
100%. Yeah.
Is humans would make all of these events way worse than they need to be. But
I mean, we've been in a pandemic for 2 years now. I mean, let's just face
we've made it
we're
just as it needs to be.
We're just as bad as we were a year and a half ago. So
I've seen the way all this has gone. I can't imagine would all come together under a comet about to wipe out humanity.
We have a fucking comet that is I think they said it's 2 times bigger than the one that killed all the dinosaurs, I think is what the number they came up with. And you mean to tell me we wouldn't freak the fuck out because now we can't get a shot?
That's one thing. I like how they like said, it's twice the size of what killed the dinosaurs, instead of like Armageddon when they're like, it's as big as Texas. Fuck it, call Bruce Willis.
Right. Oh,
I do love these disaster movies. When like I love how when these come around, like you said, we've done these 25 times by now. A similar movie. Right. But I do love how it's just all, every once in a while they come around and they're like, we got to get some random action star. They're not going to do much action.
Right.
But they're going to run away from natural disasters for like 2 hours. try to save their family.
Yeah. And it's going to work.
Studios are like, yeah, absolutely. And all the actors are like, you want me to save my family and run away from natural disasters?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sign me up for another. HBO is just like, yeah, fuck it. We'll sign you. Come on over, bud.
Let's think of what we've done. Bruce Willis has done this.
Yep.
Now Gerard Butler's done it.
Yep.
Pierce Brosnan's done it.
Mm-hmm.
The Rock has done it.
Yep.
I'm
trying to think who's in 2012.
That was John Cusack. I don't really call John Cusack an action star. I like John Cusack. But he's not an action star or a drama star or a comedic actor. He's just kind of like John Cusack.
He's John Cusack, yeah. That's the only way you can describe him.
That's just all he is. He's just John Cusack. Yeah. It's nothing against him.
No. No, not at all. Day After Tomorrow.
Oh, Day After Tomorrow. I don't even remember who starred in that. That was a good movie.
That was a good one.
But, so on the General's puff system, anyone watching, I'm sure you know by now how this works. I'm going to give Greenland 1 puff. I'm not going to give it the full stamp of approval because not enough stuff blew up and the structural engineer would not be on the top of the building staying late overseeing a concrete pour.
Overseeing concrete. Yeah.
And the other thing I got to say too with that is like they selected the structural engineer for shelter, because they need him to build buildings.
Yeah.
When everything's all said and done, but how many carpenters and iron workers do you think masons do you think they selected for shelter, or did they just completely
probably not
overlook that part? They're did you think
we got the guy that builds the building?
We got the guy who comes up and tells them what to do,
how to build it. Yeah.
We don't have the guys who know how to do it.
We didn't get that far.
Yeah. Because I just have a feeling that's I'd get left behind.
Yeah, they would just be like, what about the workers that actually do the work? Oh. Just like the government, half-ass everything. Exactly.
Because they'd look over all the workers and be like, oh, that guy smokes fucking 3 packs a day. We can't bring him for shelter. And it's like, dude, he's a master carpenter.
Right.
Trust me, you're going to want him.
Right.
But yeah, so how do you rate it, Luke?
I don't know. I think I needed more Michael Bay action.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I did want. That's like I said, is I wanted more of that natural disaster action, but I did like getting the most of the actual action scenes where it's just how people were fucked up.
I'm still going to give it.
It's like a catch-22.
It is, but I think for what it is, honestly, it's a legitimate 2-hour movie. And an hour and 40 minutes of it's pretty legit. So I think I could give it a 1 and just be fine with it. A little bit more action wouldn't hurt. And I'm not talking physical action, more CGI, I guess, with what's going on in the world. We saw flashes of cities getting toppled, but nothing real. They would turn on the news and then turn it off. Or we would hear something play over a radio.
Yeah, we basically got in hearsay how dangerous this whole event was.
Yeah.
Which was a good way of building suspense, but I don't know, man. It ain't the 70s with Jaws back in the day where you could just get away with not using the shark half the time because it didn't look real. You can have good explosions and shit now, and you got Gerard Butler for the movie, blow some stuff up.
Right. He had a couple good scenes. He had a couple good action scenes. I was entertained. My biggest thing is I was entertained the entire time. So
absolutely, 100%. It's an entertaining movie.
Yeah, so I can give it a 1.
Yeah, but like I said, the foot once it puts its foot on the gas, it does not come off.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, at the end of the movie, you're like, "Oh, this is like chilled out. Wow, that's relaxing."
Right, pretty much.
You're like taking a sigh of relief at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
It's an intense ride for 2 hours.
Right.
So, as always, anyone who's still here, you're here in the perfect timing, because Triple T's, there's just always something to find on Twitter that someone said that's really fucking stupid, man.
Oh yeah, I do have one, Steve. Actually, I might have.
You got one. All right, let's go with yours.
Because first of all, it's preseason game 1. Yes, I did watch the Steelers. I only watched the first half. That's really about the only half I really care about because I see most of the starters in the first half. They ended up beating Philadelphia. They were down 3-0, whatever. They came back and they ended up winning. But this tweet from this guy, first of all, I am an avid NFL watcher. I watch every game as much as possible. This man tweeted because I had no idea Joe Flacco was even in the league anymore. Zero idea. If you would have put my life on the line, I would have been like, Joe Flacco is not playing.
Yeah, I honestly, I just did not realize he was still in the league until I saw it that he threw it.
And this guy, he's from Great Britain, and he's a Ravens fan. So fucking rest in peace to that dude. I mean, what the fuck is your life like? But he said, I absolutely love that Joe Flacco exposed the Steelers to the point where they had to sign a free agent linebacker while they were playing. Joe Flacco doing Joe Flacco things never gets old. Hashtag Ravens flock.
Oh, man. Yeah, he exposed the Steelers in preseason week 1.
Now, I just want to say this.
He really exposed those third stringers on the Steelers.
First of all, Joe Flacco threw a negative 1 yard pass, and the guy took it for 70.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a screen pass.
Okay. Joe Flacco didn't do a fucking thing on that play besides pretty much handing him the ball. Okay. Number 2, Joe Schobert.
What everyone makes fun of Tom Brady for.
Yeah. Joe Schobert.
That whole false narrative about Tom Brady. That's what Joe Flacco did.
Joe Schobert is not a free agent quarterback. He has been playing for the Jacksonville Jaguars and is a pretty decent linebacker. Okay. We had to trade for him. Number 2. Number 3, Josh Norwood is not going to be a part of the Steelers organization after the cuts. Okay. Like, you were playing against nobody that's going to be on the team. So,
and actually, to be honest, the Joe Schobert trade, bring that up. They didn't give up much for him.
6th round draft pick.
A 6th round draft pick, dude. I thought a 6th round draft pick was a very good value.
Yeah,
for getting Joe Schobert. And, so, no matter what my, third string guy who's not going to make the roster does missing a tackle, like if I can get Joe Schobert for a 6th round pick, I'm probably picking up Joe Schobert.
Right. I mean, Devin Bush isn't playing. TJ Watt isn't playing. Cameron Hayward isn't playing. Stephon Tuitt isn't playing. I could just keep going around on the list. There is nobody playing. Like, Robert Spillane was playing middle linebacker. Like, he's going to get burned.
You can't expose a team in preseason.
Right. And the whole Joe Flacco doing Joe Flacco things, he hasn't been relevant since 2010. Okay? Like, I don't give a fuck about Joe Flacco. Not one bit.
Yeah.
Not one bit. That's a terrible T for me.
Yeah. That really ground Luke's gears.
I mean, unbelievable. I mean, just I'm exposed. I'm exposed.
Yeah, you're exposed.
I'm exposed.
I don't blame you. All right, so I've got, as always, got a Chiefs fan. Tyreek Hill is the best offensive weapon in NFL history.
Huh?
Yeah. So I just like maybe some of you people don't get this, but NFL history doesn't mean the past 2 years that you've been watching football. It means NFL history.
Right.
You think Tyreek Hill is a better offensive weapon than Randy Moss?
Yeah. Deion Sanders.
Like,
well, I mean,
Marshall Faulk. I mean,
Marshall Faulk.
You want to talk about a weapon on offense? Marshall Faulk.
Yeah. Anybody from that team?
Yeah. The best offensive weapon. Like, dude. No, I love how, like, they all rip on Brady for, like, oh, he did it with so much talent. But, like, they need Tyreek Hill has to be the best offensive weapon in NFL history. That's so. But we can't take anything away from Mahomes for having played with him, right?
That's why I love the NFL, and that's why I love Twitter. That's exactly right there, 110% why. Because you're arguing the same thing you're yelling at me for. Like, what do you mean, guy?
Every
time. What
do
you mean?
Yeah. I mean, dude, come on. Tyreek, the best offensive weapon in NFL history. Come on, man.
Like, at the end of his career, he could be top 10.
Oh, dude, I'm not knocking Tyreek Hill at all. Tyreek Hill's a beat.
But, like,
yeah, he could absolutely be one of the top 10 best weapons in NFL.
You're talking like right now. I mean, the guy. I mean, dead serious. I mean, this guy was almost out of the league last year or 2 years ago because of off the field issues. So, I mean, what do you mean?
It's ridiculous to me. And then I've got, as always, man, of course, like, this take had to be there. There was the video of the Patriots fans giving Mac Jones the standing ovation.
Yep.
So I looked through the tweets, the thread. I knew what I was going to find in the comments. I still laughed hysterically when I found it in the comments. We only cheered for Mac Jones because we're all racist. We only like him because he's a white guy. We also gave Cam Newton a standing ovation. They just don't want to talk about that. Cam Newton was also cheered for very loudly.
Right.
Yeah. We only cheered for Mac Jones because we're racist.
Yeah.
It couldn't be because we drafted a quarterback in the first round for the first time in
Easters.
25 years.
Yeah.
Like that. We're excited to see the first round draft pick quarterback we've had in 25 years play.
Last year. I mean, I'm not saying last year.
Even if Cam Newton's the starter, Cam Newton is not here long term. Everyone knows that because it's a 1 year contract. We're excited to see Mac Jones play for the first time.
Right.
Because he's the plan for the future.
Right. And
even if Cam's the starter.
And I mean, this is the first since last year. I'm not saying, I mean, they're literally 5 plays away from being a playoff team last year, probably. And I mean, that was the first. I'm not saying playing football in Foxborough hasn't been exciting, but like last year was like, hey, we actually had a little bit of adversity. And we're coming back with a reloaded team and a new look quarterback. Like, we actually can be excited for actually being excited, not just because, hey, we're the Patriots and we're just going to go out. We're going to go 12-4 and we'll see you in the playoffs. Like, no, like they had not controversy, but they had a little animosity.
Yeah, we've always had controversy.
You've always had controversy.
Controversy is what we dwell on over here,
right? But like, it it wasn't lackadaisical. They weren't going through the motions. It felt like every game you could actually sit there and watch because you didn't know if the Patriots are actually going to win or not. And they were still, like I said, probably 5 plays away from being in the playoffs.
Yeah, see, that's
a
one
very
thing,
banged
man.
up team.
That team went 7-9 with by strength of schedule, the hardest schedule going of any other team going into the season.
Yeah.
The most opt-outs in the NFL.
Yeah.
And look,
pretty much all on defense.
I think Cam Newton's going to be better. I think Cam Newton's going to be better this year, but let's face Cam Newton was not good at throwing the ball last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, look, so the next one I have after that is that Josh McDaniels was intentionally calling plays during the preseason game for Cam Newton to be bad at and called plays to Mac Jones's strengths. And so the Patriots, it also says in the tweet that because they're racist. Because, naturally. Are calling plays that will intentionally make Cam Newton look bad, not playing to his strengths. Yeah. Or maybe it was the first fucking series of preseason, and maybe, just maybe, hear me out, maybe Josh McDaniels and Bill Belichick aren't going to unveil their entire playbook in the first drive of
preseason
week 1. Maybe, right? I don't know.
First of all, you can't argue that you have system quarterbacks, and then when you run the system, it doesn't work to your advantage. What do you like? You complain for all these years that it's the system that makes the quarterback. It's the system that makes the quarterback. So you run the same. It's been the same offensive coordinator for fucking 30 years, it feels like. Josh McDaniels has been there forever. Okay? Like, he's had the same system. And now when you have the same system again and the same quarterback from last year, and you said this don't work, then you blame the system? What are you talking about?
Saying that they're calling plays that will intentionally. So you know what? I will say they opened up the playbook a little bit more for Mac Jones when he went in there, and they let him do a little no huddle. But that's because this is the first in-game snaps they've ever seen Mac Jones take.
Right. He hasn't been around.
Yeah, they need to see this for Mac Jones.
Right.
They don't need to see Cam Newton throwing the ball deep. Because actually, as much as I complained about Cam throwing the ball, he threw the ball good deep last year.
Yeah.
He had problems with the short passes.
Yeah.
So they had Cam Newton throw some short passes. That's what they need to see Cam Newton do.
Yeah. What else can you learn from a guy that's been in the league for 10 years? You know what I mean? Well, what else do you need to really know about Cam Newton? Well,
and saying that they're not calling, because Peter, they complained that they didn't call any running plays for Cam. They didn't call any plays that are specifically designed to his strength.
Preseason game.
It's a preseason game. You're going to show the whole playbook. I'm sure with Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry and Nelson Aguilar and all these new additions to the offense, especially Jonnu, who can move all over the place, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of little fancy misdirection, lining guys up in different places.
Right.
The read option with Cam, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of that this year if Cam's a starter.
Yeah.
And you got to screw defenses up and create separation that way by confusing defenses because you're moving guys around. Because Cam Newton is, even if he's not a good thrower, you got to keep your eye on him because Duke can still run the ball.
Yeah. And honestly, Steve, you're playing 16 games is hard enough. Now you have to play 17.
Yeah.
So what's the point of getting him unnecessary shots?
Yeah, we're not having him run the ball in preseason. It doesn't matter.
It don't fucking matter.
To be honest, the fact that they didn't have Cam run the ball, they only had him throw a couple of screen passes, and they only played him for 2 drives. actually shows to me that they have a little bit of faith in Cam Newton.
Yeah. They want more out of him.
It showed me that they wanted to protect him a little bit.
Yeah.
I will say that Cam took that sack, the first drive from Chase Young. Was my only complaint really with Cam from this preseason game was he wasn't getting away from Chase Young.
Chase Young is a fucking monster.
He was not getting away from Chase Young. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
You've got to feel that pressure and cover the ball up.
Yeah.
It looked like he didn't even know he was coming and he was still trying to throw. And it's like, just cover up.
Yeah.
And don't risk a fumble. That's not a complaint. But anyways, this has been.
I have one more, Steve. It's not a take. I'm just saying, if I would say this name to you, I want you to guess why he's not playing football.
Oh God.
Aldon Smith. This man, I was watching ESPN during the week, and it came across the ticker that Aldon Smith had been let go from the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I instantly said, well, it's off the field. Whatever it is, it's 100% off the field issue. And I have the article pulled up, and the Seattle headline is, Aldon Smith's hopes to continue in his NFL comeback, ... with the Seattle Seahawks is over. All it says is the team is releasing veteran defensive end because of an off-the-field matter. Shocker, Aldon Smith. Shocker. Off-the-field matter. No way.
Yeah, no way. Thanks for the news.
Thanks for the
article. Yep. I love when they release articles like that. Like I love those like pointless news updates that it's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like one of the funniest ones that I've ever gotten, it's completely different, has nothing to do with sports. But when Whitey Bulger was killed in prison, I got like an immediate like news update, like because out here the local news stations, that was huge. Right away we got this update. Suspected that Whitey Bulger's killing in prison may have been mob related.
Really?
Oh, Brit. Wow.
This is where our tax scholars is going.
Whatever could have given that away?
What gave you that impression?
Whatever gave you that idea?
No idea that was happening.
I know it has nothing to do with sports. I'll just never forget that one because it was just such a useless. It was such a useless update. I was like,
yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. I mean, so if you were drafting Seattle's defense this year because of Aldon Smith, then you shouldn't have picked Seattle's defense.
Yeah. Yeah. But I also wouldn't have been picking defense based off of Aldon Smith. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Check out the site. Tomorrow we'll be tweeting out our writer Joe Fair, Average Joe show. As next article of division previews out. And keep an eye out for us. Dude, 4 days away, Luke. Right? Yep. Is it 4 days?
Pretty much.
I'm bad with days. Yeah. I'm flying out to Texas Thursday afternoon. We'll all pretty much everyone.
Texas is not going to be the same after this.
Well, at least that house in Texas won't be the same.
Yeah.
We already had Josh like wondering if like the house was coming fully stocked with booze. So
yeah, well, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Whatever the liquor store is in Brownsville, Texas, or Harlingen, I am sorry. I'm sorry for what we're about to do to you.
I love that he says to me after, he's like, well, I mean, was making sure that like the liquor stores were fully stocked and ready to go. I'm like, yeah, because I'm sure Ernest is making that phone call to the liquor store now in Texas. Hey,
every single one of them. Hey, we have we got a whole
are you
bunch
fully
of
stocked this weekend?
Yeah. We got all these people coming. We're gonna get fucked up.
But so Ernest, I mean, you should be watching, bud. But like if you are, like you gotta start making that call for Josh. Make sure the liquor stores know he's coming.
Yeah.
And I mean, while you're at it, you might as well make sure that they got cartons of Newport Red 100s.
Yep, and O'Doul's.
Yeah, well, like, I mean, I'll drink really any type of non-alcoholic. O'Doul's isn't my favorite.
Yeah.
There are plenty of good non-alcoholic beers out there. You got to broaden your horizons, Luke.
I know.
Or just drink alcohol because you can.
Or just
drink fucking alcohol. You know, I'm going to end with this. I always see people complaining, like, about the taste of a non-alcoholic beer, and like thinking how like they think non-alcoholic beer is stupid. Mind your fucking business.
Get
it's
fucked.
The best I got.
Get bent helmets. What are you talking about?
What do you care? You can drink beer. Drink your beer.
Yeah. Go do another line of Coke in the bathroom. I'm not talking to you right now.
Yeah, go do a line of Coke in the bathroom. Yeah. With a complete stranger.
You go do it with yourself. Yeah. And you tell me drinking non-alcoholic beverages are dangerous. You go do another line of Coke, bud.
Yeah, and then you complain to me about the taste of a non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah. Get fucked.
I don't know why you're drinking it.
Yeah.
But thank you for tuning in, everybody. We will see you next weekend. And